This flask is bigger than my molding board. So I cut these 2 sticks, and I'm going to just drop those down in that gap. And that'll keep me from losing sand on the sides. It will eventually pack down there, but it'll also weaken my mold in those corners if I don't keep it tight to begin with. This is the new flask that I just built. My idea is to do a horseshoe gate, and I'll feed into this spoke, this spoke, and this spoke. My sprue will be right here, and I'm going to have a riser on the opposite side, of course, right here. That should be big enough, but we can go an even bigger size. You know what? We'll go with that. You'll notice I got some sharp corners here. I didn't waste a lot of time on this. So what I'll do is I'll address those sharp corners in the mold once I get this done and kind of dress those out a little bit. But we're going to try a different camera angle to where you're looking straight down and saying pretty much the same thing I am. And I'm not showing you this contraption I got rigged up just to give you this angle. That will be for another video. This is for Roger McMillan. He's a friend of mine at Soule that comes every year. He's got a hot air engine I've shown on a video at some point, probably a year ago. Roger had this really nice brass flywheel that he wants to use as a pattern to cast 2 iron castings with. As I said, we have very sharp corners here that are going to have to be addressed once the mold is made. So we're going to put 1 shim here, and I'm going to put 1 here. It's not, we'll try to evenly distribute this a little better. So that's good. Good enough for what we're doing. I'm kind of tucking the sand up under here. All that's going to be coated out. And you know what? We're going to need some more sand. I'll bet you I didn't mull enough. I have been fighting something for several days, and I've been sick a lot here lately. And I don't know why. But Josie, luckily, she keeps a whole bunch of vitamin D3, zinc, Serapin, whatever you call the stuff. And luckily that stuff really works. Yeah, I'm fixing to have to mull some more sand. This is going to consume more than I thought. When you ram as much sand a day as I do, you come up with it every kind of technique to change up, right? Does that make sense? If you do the same repetitive motions all day long with the same movement, you start developing soreness. Now, since I did that, I don't have to rough it up like I normally do, because the rubberized mallet kind of squishes the sand down up under the current layer without having to worry about laminating. Alright, now I gotta make sure I hold these tight together. Trying to break it away this way. Alright. I'm going to turn it up on the edge. I'll be glad when I get my other tripod back and I won't have this problem. Alright. I'm just going to mash that sand, tighten it up around these spokes, and then I'm going to flip it back up on edge again and cope it better. And also, right around here, I'm going to coat down midways on that wheel, along with the spokes. And I'm doing that up on edge because it's so much trouble to reposition the tripod now. I'm going to have to you're just going to have to kind of visualize this. Now I'm going to try to get this pattern out of the sand and refine my parting lines. I did not go all the way, so I still have room to coat down a little more, but I want to get this completely out of here first, somehow. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this. You see right here where all the parting dust is starting to dance off and lay along the sides. That's what I want. I want an even line, white line, going around these perimeters to tell me, all right, this casting's finally loosening up from the bed that it's in. It's kind of like looking for lines inside glow. One thing we need to do before I pull this, I got to put a timing mark on it. We'll call this 12 o'clock, as long as I don't move the mold. And if I do, we'll just do this, all right? All right. I know this is going to pull some plugs because I didn't coat far enough down. We're going to be able to fix it now. Probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and pull some of this out of the way. So I got some areas like right here that I know are holding it. I'll dust it again because I want to be able to witness the movement here. Better to work it down like this than to pull a big plug if you can help it. As I say with all patterns, you got to make sure you pick them up straight. You got to keep them parallel. Without magnets, I'm going to have a very difficult time. Now I could flip this over upside down and then raise the mold off, but there's a good chance I'll tear sand out like that. A little bit at a time here, and we'll have it. All right. I'm going to put a lot more acute angle to the outside of the flask down to the center line, and now I can see where the center line is on this casting since I did that. I'm going to be off camera for a second as I do this. Now remember I said I have a timing mark. I didn't turn the flask, so hopefully this will fall right back in place. No problem. Now I have a much cleaner parting line. I'm going to put my sprue right here. Put that right there. I already have it to where it'll release out of the drag. When I go to separate this mold, I'm going to have to flip it upside down and take the drag off first, because I know it's not going to pull from the coat. It's barely going to have enough sand. Thought I was going to have to mold some more. Man, I dread picking this thing up. Let's see. I'm going to cook that flask the first pour. My sprue. I'm going to char this pretty good on the inside, I think. I only absolutely have to have this flask 2 times. As I said, I'm going to be putting a big riser, which is this one, right there. But I'm going to cut it from the inside out, because I got to get in there and I got to put a radius in there anyway, and I will be a lot better at getting this as close to concentric as possible. You're going to hear me complaining about my back, because I got to pick this whole thing up without taking it apart, flip it upside down, and then I can remove the drag. As I said, the coat has not been loosened. Is that right word? The coat has not been wrapped and vibrated in order to release from the coat yet. So I'm going to have to take it off, drag first, wrap the pattern, get it to release from this coat. But it should come out, since we've already formed the parting line, this should come out with a lot greater ease. Oh man. I don't know what I'm complaining about. This is only 100 pounds. It's hard to lift straight out like that. All right. Let's try to ease this up. It's stuck. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm not going to complain. We're going to be cutting our gates on the drag. And it looks like, let me finish this before I go bragging too much here. Let's start off with the easy part. Well, I hate to do this, but I'm going to have some flashing I got to grind. There's just no way around it. You know what I said about trying to keep an acute angle? That's what I'm doing now with my parting line, trying to keep that angle from being such a steep drop off. By the end of this week, I will have, I'll be making 20 of these a day. Now, honestly, if I had to make more than 2 of these, I would make a false drag. But as I said, I had to build these flasks for this, and that would mean I would also have to make a 3rd one. And I just didn't want to waste that much time. Gotta be parallel. That broke off. But you know what? That's just going to have to be ground. And we still got to cut our riser in it. So I got some radiuses I got to address. On both of them, it's going to be this one for sure. One right here. And that sucker right here, I may as well fix it too. So if I don't, he's going to have a crack in that casting all the way around. I got to do that same exact thing to this one. Start off out here. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. So those steps I was telling you about, see this corner here? That's just going to shrink in even more. See this? That sharp edge? That's going to be chilled. And the best way to fix that is just go ahead and round that off in the mold, and he'll just have to rechase that on the lathe. And if you notice, I forgot to do something. I forgot to cut the pouring basin. So I got to pull that back off, cut that, reassemble it, and then we will pour this. As you can remember, I said that I got my sprue way too close to the edge, but I felt safe if I went ahead and put about 4, well actually in this case it was 8 layers of aluminum foil right there in that corner as a gasket, and it held it for a little bit, but then it finally just blew through. So we're taking every precaution tonight not to blow another mold. There is a lot of surface area there which increases the hydraulic pressure. So hopefully we won't have any iron spitting out the sides tonight. So anyway, this is the pattern that we used, and I was mistaken. Started doing these, I said this was a brass or a bronze flywheel. It sure looked like it, but I was able to stick a magnet to it. What made me double question it was the customer. I saw him at the Steam Festival yesterday, and he insisted he did not send me a bronze or a brass flywheel, and I said, well, it sure looks like one. Anyway, Roger's got 2 iron ones off of this other iron one now, and they turned out looking pretty good. That's the back side, and that's where I had my riser. That'll have to be machined off. These things are heavy. But anyway, yes, we do flywheels, guys. That's just one more thing I forget to add sometimes.
All gone.
All gone?
All gone. We'll start all over. Good little barbecue right there will start. They'll be here in 45 minutes. They come an hour and a half later.
Yeah. I have 2 subscribers from Beaufort, Georgia. This is Margaret and this is Lou Jack. And they came all the way from Beaufort, Georgia. And not only am I thrilled to see you guys when you come out here, but these particular people are taking a casting back for another customer in Beaufort, Georgia that's anxiously waiting. Anyway, I could tell you more about that later, but I just want to know, I want you guys to know how much I appreciate y'all. And I'm glad that I'm glad that my voice is getting out about the Soule Steam Festival. I think you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it so far.
Oh, absolutely.
And so yeah, it's worth the trip out here, guys. There's ever since COVID, there's been a decline in attendance, and we'd like to see those numbers go way back up, because places like this don't need to be forgotten. But anyway, I want to thank you again, and I just wanted to introduce you guys to my new friends from Beaufort, Georgia.
Well, thank you.
So my friend Rusty, he came down and for the Soule Steam event and brought the ice cream maker, which I showed earlier in this video. And on the way back from Meridian, he hit one of our Mississippi potholes and he busted the spring on the margarita machine. So as you can see, we rigged up a pretty nice setup here to hold the axle in place and keep it tight to the frame of the trailer. So and we probably drove what, 30 miles, and it held up fine. But we're not going to push it all the way to Waco, Texas. So we got it as far as here at Windy Hill Foundry, and we're gonna try to find a spring for this on a Sunday morning where he's not too late getting back home to mama. What Rusty decided to do is make a beam that goes all the way across from the front to the back, and this locks in on the ends, on the inside of the trailer. So that helps keep the axle not only stiffened up to the frame, but it also keeps the wheel in alignment this way. And then we put a stirrup with some lag bolts in the bottom of the beam to make sure this doesn't jog up and off the axle. And from there, he put a strap on each end to secure the beam to the trailer. So there's no reason why this shouldn't make it back to Texas,
we
Rusty.
certainly hope.
Yeah.
We certainly hope. More to follow.
Yeah. The tire got so hot it cooked the paint from the inside out. On the inside wall and out here. And we took the ice bucket off of it last night just to help take some of the weight off the tail end of this. So Rusty feels good about this.
It'll make it back to Texas.
Yep. Well, we had a great time. We were glad Rusty was able to join us.
We did.
And luckily, you weren't stranded for long as we were able to get this back up and going.
It made a lot of people happy.
Yep.
And
how many, again, how many gallons of...
15 gallons of orange sherbet.
15 gallons of orange sherbet is...
3 5-gallon freezer fulls, and they ate every bit of it.
Yeah.
So
it's
gone.
I know they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know I enjoyed my third round of it. Now, my second round. I wanted a third round, but it was gone by then. So, anyway.
Thank you for your help, Clark.
Yeah, I didn't do much.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got me off the highway.
Well.
You got me back to a safe location, so.
I'm not going to leave my buddies stranded. I told, and I hope you guys would be the same way with me if I'm ever stranded, because we break down all the time somewhere. And but yeah, if you can at least get into Texas, I'll be able to sleep better. Because if you don't, I'll know I'm coming to get you.
Well, I'll let you know tomorrow when I get home.
This is going to be just a short little video recapping the Sule event, along with a emergency rebuild.
Run.
Yeah. Retrofit on Rusty's trailer.
Yep.
Now, Rusty, share with my audience, since we're on this subject, tell everybody about your ice cream machine. Tell them about Alex.
Okay.
Tell them about the trailer.
It was built by Alex Chun back about 2005 to make margaritas at the Temple Tractor and Engine Show. And he did that for a number of years. Had some health problems and asked me to start helping him. I started helping him, and over the years I would do more and more, and he was able to do less, but he always enjoyed going. And he passed away in 2015, and his brother Larry said, well, Alex always told us how much fun y'all had when you went to somewhere, and why don't you just keep the trailer and keep on going? So that's what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a plaque in the front. Alex was a motorcycle mechanic. This is his impact tool that he used frequently, and I have some of Alex's ashes in the plaque, so everywhere I take the trailer, Alex goes with me. He's still my road buddy, and
that's a true friend right there, guys.
Alex is here.
I was touched by this story when he told me about it the other day.
I'm just taking care of Alex's trailer, and I want him to be with me when we're on the road.
So guys, if you didn't know Rusty, I wanted to show you what a good, genuine person really is.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be able to consider him as a friend of mine. And if you ever get a chance to meet Rusty, if you ever go to these events, you probably have met Rusty. But he does all this out of charity, and he enjoys what he does. Yep. And it takes a very special person that wants to attend these things and bring joy to people's lives. Rusty's one of those guys.
It's always been, that was Alex's philosophy. Make margaritas, give them away. We make frozen margaritas, ice cream, orange sherbet, strawberry ice cream, and I've never taken a nickel. For a cupful.
And he could have made some money this weekend.
I could have made some money, but This is the second time I've been to Mississippi with it. I came over to Clark's in the spring and made some ice cream for the folks that were over here in the spring, and thoroughly enjoyed that.
Well, we always enjoy
and made it home safe.
Yeah, you didn't have the problems we had this time.
With this one, so.
But one of the other things we need to add is Rusty, Meridian just happens to be home of some of his roots.
Yep.
And when
my mother's parents moved to Meridian from Tupelo in 1937, and I spent a lot of summers and a lot of time visiting my grandparents, and they only lived about 7 blocks from Soule.
Coincidental, huh?
I had no idea what Soule was, other than that's where the whistle blew.
And he'd ask,
times a day,
where was that whistle coming from?
And now find out that they had this wonderful factory not very far from grandparents' house. So
yeah.
it was nice getting back to Meridian for the Soule Festival. I really enjoyed it.
Well, and while I'm at it, I also had several subscribers actually come far away from other states to attend this weekend, and I want to thank you guys for coming out. And it sounds like you will be back out now that you've seen what you've been missing. It's hard for me to relate. Just pictures alone just don't do this place justice.
You have to be there with the sounds and see this equipment running. It is truly a fascinating piece of history.
Yeah, it definitely is. And
something to see. I think everybody would enjoy it.
Yeah.
If they're watching this video, they're the kind of people that would enjoy it.
Yeah, I think.
Try and make a trip over here and see it.
It's worth the trip.
It is. It certainly is.
But I'd recommend checking your leaf springs on any trailers before you bring them up.
Absolutely. I love Mississippi, but there are some...
The roads here are kind of rough.
And some of them are really, really nice, and some of them are a little bit rough.
Yeah.
So, and I think I just hit a little bit pothole, and that spring bound up and just snapped right in the center of the eye bolt. And,
but I got a Muller spring now, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, I was able to contribute something to Windy Hill Foundry.
Yep, so I'll make a video of what I'm going to do with the broke spring here at some point soon.
Okay, good.
All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to introduce you to Rusty. If you haven't met him, you have now.
Okay.
For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.